And welcome back, everybody, to your favorite weekly wrestling podcast. I am Brant. This is 123 podcast episode 20, the big 2-0. And you might be realizing that something is missing from this episode, and that is Chris. Chris is not with me on this episode. It's just me and you guys, and it's going to be a shorter episode, especially since it's a little bit late. Let me explain the reasons for all that real quick. Um, I went on I went out of town for 5 days, and during that time it was like I left the morning after NXT last week, so and I didn't get back until late Monday evening. So it obviously our recording had to be delayed, and then since I've gotten back, Chris and I have had a problem syncing our schedules up, so he wasn't available to do this one. He will be back for next week's episodes. So this time I'm going solo, and like I said, I'll keep it brief and everything. This is for the episode of NXT that aired on January 27th, 2016, and we're going to talk about that. And hopefully this will get edited and posted before tonight's new episode of NXT goes live. All right, so just talking about some of the stuff that happened here. There was a great match to open up the show between American Alpha, which is the new tag team name of Jason Jordan and Chad Gable. And they took on Blake and Murphy with Alexa Bliss. And I'm not crazy about the name American Alpha. I don't know. I think they could have come up with a much better name, but at least they can move away from that World's Greatest Tag Team comparison, which I actually kind of like them better than the World's Greatest Tag Team. Um, but it was a fine match. Actually, Blake and Murphy were pretty good in this match, even with the man bun that one of them was sporting. I don't know which is which between Blake and Murphy, but they're okay. They're actually pretty good wrestlers, even though they are kind of cheesy. But I really like American Alpha here. Really solid match there. So I really enjoyed. I'm really enjoying the tag team division as a whole, but I really like not Blake and Murphy, American Alpha. So we get to see a little bit of Asuka's journey through NXT so far. Not much since she wasn't wrestling. I guess we get just a little bit of her. Speaking of tag teams, going back to that, there was a funny segment backstage later on in the show towards the end with Mojo Rawley and Zack Ryder, as they were talking about these vaudevillains promos that keep coming out where they're not speaking, and it seems like they're turning heel. Is basically what it is. They're turning into bad guys. Um, and they're like, what's that all about and everything? And they go into all these sidetracks about Zumbas and everything, and Mojo kind of watching Ryder while he sleeps got really kind of weird, and Ryder's like, stop watching me while I sleep, bro. And it was just this odd thing, and I don't know where they're going with all this, but it was really funny. I'm actually kind of liking it because I'm not a huge fan of Raleigh. I do like Ryder, but my like for his character has kind of waned since that whole internet thing died down. But this was kind of funny. It was interesting how Ryder was the more serious of the two. So it's kind of a weird, I don't know, just kind of a weird way to go with it, but very interesting. We got to see the Drifter again, and he was okay. He did a really nice um, high knee to whoever he was facing. I don't even remember the guy's name, but that was pretty cool. Alex Riley came back, and he's like all aggressive and everything. He took on Bull Dempsey, and if you guys remember Riley, he was collegiate Mrs. Protege kind of guy. And he was a commentator for a while, but now he's got this long scruffy hair, and he's like all aggressive and everything. And he did this segment backstage afterwards. And all that stuff. So he was talking about how everybody's focused on Sami Zayn and all this, and they forgot about him. And so yeah, he's basically turned full heel, and his persona's changed a little bit. But the main match, and there were some other matches I'll mention real quick. Emma and Dana Brooke were backstage and cut a promo, and it was kind of lame. Nia Jax fought Liv Morgan, and of course she won. Let's see. Were there any other matches? No, there were no other matches. So the main focus of this episode of NXT was the triple threat for the number one contendership for the NXT World Title. So this was between Samoa Joe, Baron Corbin, and Sami Zayn. Great match, back and forth between the three. Everybody's getting their signature moves in and all this stuff. They do what classic triple threat is. One guy gets incapacitated, the other two go at it for a while, then he comes back in, one gets in. It's kind of this endless cycle like that. So you had Sami Zayn actually doing really well in this match, and it ends up towards the end, Baron Corbin is just out of it, and it's Samoa Joe and Sami Zayn, and Sami Zayn gets Corbin in a sharpshooter, but he's not tapping, and he stays steady. And then Samoa Joe runs in and gets the crossface on him while Sami Zayn still has him in the sharpshooter, and he immediately taps. So Samoa Joe's thinking, oh, it's because of my crossface, but Sami Zayn's like, I already had him in the sharpshooter, and the referee doesn't know what to do. Obviously, Corbin didn't win, but we don't know if Sami Zayn or Samoa Joe won. Regal comes out to end the show, saying that he has to review the tape and figure out who is actually the number one contender. So hopefully we'll find that out on tonight's episode. So very controversial ending, but the cool thing is Sami Zayn went toe-to-toe with Baron Corbin and Samoa Joe and came out possibly winning the match. We don't know yet. My guess is there's going to be a match between Sami Zayn and Samoa Joe to settle the score. Or maybe it'll be a triple threat with Finn Balor for the title. Either way, it was a very good way to end the show. It took up a good third of the show, this match. Really solid match. Really, like I said, every single participant in it, all three of them, got to shine, and it really made the hunt for the world title feel important. So I thought this was an excellent way to lead into that next title match, whoever it may be. So I definitely enjoyed this episode of NXT. Strong start, decent middle, some nice backstage packages, and a very strong ending. So one of the better episodes, and definitely better than the episode of Raw this week or last week. So looking forward to what's to come tonight and going forward. So I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments below, and hopefully, like I said, we'll get Chris back for the next episode. And sorry we missed him for this one, but we'll catch up with him next time. So until next time, you can check all the previous episodes out. All 19 episodes are up on Chris's channel, Dark Avenger C86, and on zone4podcast.com, so check them all out there. Hopefully in the near future we'll be able to transition into an audio version, put it up on SoundCloud and iTunes, and go from there. We'll see more updates on that upcoming, and you can check out lastemperpress.com, zone4podcast.com, commentfrontline.com to see more of our stuff coming up. So again, thanks for watching our 20th episode of 123 Podcast. Hope you guys are enjoying it. Like, subscribe, share, spread the word, and we'll see you right here next time on 123. Bye, guys.
This has been a Gonzo Goose production.